You're gonna have to do the introduction, and you guys are live now.
Welcome, 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 everybody. And as you can see, we have the beautiful Kiana Jacobson in the chat, better known as Two Steep Kiki. Hey, girl, how you doing, boo?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
I am doing well. That you're here. Thank you so much for being here.
You're
Before we
welcome.
get
I'm glad to be here.
Before we get started, I have to say thank you to everybody who will be joining us tonight. We have to give our thanks to Reverb Nation, the Replay Gang, and of course, the Cloud Watchers, and all of the beautiful people that will be entering the chat. Um, Hello, Anaya. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much. And please like this video as you enter in the chat, please. Thank you so much. And share us out if you are inspired to do so. Um, I just want to say um thank you so much. Hey Bree Bree. Hey Sissy. Um, I just want to say thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate you guys. Um, of course, um, the man of the hour, Mr. TSM. Bree Bree, hit that like, girl, and join us up here, mamas. If you don't know already, we are doing a teen summit, the young lady edition, and we have our special guest, Kiana, and Bree Bree from Bree Bree, Pretty Bree Bree Money Gang. She will be joining us as well. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. This is a special treat, not only for myself, but for you guys as well. So be ready to have your listening ears as these beautiful young ladies give us our insight on what it is to be a teen in 2025. So thank you so much for joining us for this teen summit. And we just waiting for Bree Bree to come join us. And once again, I want to say shout out to Reverb Nation, the Cloud Watchers, the Replay Gang, and everyone entering the chat as well. Hey, Bree Bree, can you hear us? Can you hear her?
No.
I can't hear her either. Bree Bree, if you can, turn your Wi-Fi off and turn it back on. If that's going to help with the sound, um, or the data, do the same thing if you're under your data as well. Turn it off and then turn it back on so we can because we want people. And if you can, if you don't mind, Bree Bree, can you come on camera so everybody can see your beautiful face, girl? Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We really appreciate you guys. And once again, please like this video while you're entering the chat and share us out if you're inspired to do so. Thank you so much for everybody who's joining us tonight. Your presence is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us, Destiny Love. Oh, I love your name. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. Hey, Vivi. Thank you so much for joining us, girl. Thank you so much. Um, that's my bestie, the beautiful Bree Bree. We see you, girl. And I want to say thank you for TSM for coming up with this teen summit for you for these beautiful ladies. And I think you all will be inspired and about what these three young ladies have to talk about. Our first topic for discussion will be bullying. And I know we've all have been bullied at one point in our lives. So, with that being said, which one of you ladies want to give y'all insight on bullying?
I can go.
Okay.
So bullying is like it's happens in a lot of schools, and most people don't see it because a lot of kids that get bullied don't say anything because they're scared that if they do say anything, it's gonna cause more problems. Like at this time, I am being bullied by a few kids at school. Kids, a boy is bullying me because I turned him down because I didn't want to date him. So he's like spreading rumors at school, and I've confronted him a few times, and he just, you know, he threatens me or he just keeps at it. I've also been bullied by a couple kids in my class because I didn't successfully help them out with an assignment because I was sick for 2 weeks out of school. Um, and for me, bullying is not something that if you're witnessing someone being bullied to sit there and watch it or to laugh about it. Like me personally, watching somebody get bullied, I feel the need to stand up or at least let an adult know because I have a friend who killed herself a few years ago because of being bullied and she didn't tell anybody, so nobody helped her. And then another time when TSM was interviewing me, I did mention how when I was younger, I got bullied by a girl that I called my best friend. And when I try to stand up, I get turned down. So when you are getting bullied, or if you know someone that's getting bullied, you should reassure them that there is at least one person in their life, whether it's a teacher, a counselor, their parents, a friend, anybody that they could go to and they can stand up for themselves, or you could stand up for that person that is being bullied. Bullying does not just happen to boys. It does happen to girls too. It can happen to anybody, any age. It doesn't just happen in just middle school and high school. It happens throughout your whole life. Bullying can be something as small as calling somebody a name, but when it becomes bullying is when you call them that name multiple times, or you get other people to call them that name, or get other somebody else to believe that that's who they are. Bullying can be something as extreme as abuse, like hitting somebody, pushing somebody, and that's what I went through. Not just verbal bullying, but physical bullying, mental bullying. So for me, bullying doesn't get as much attention as it needs in school. Like a lot of education organizations focus on grades, attendance, but what about bullying? Because you don't get those good grades and those good attendance if we don't fix bullying. Because why would somebody want to go to school or go to an environment they're being bullied at every day and still want to put their best in? So that's how I feel like bullying. Like, just we got to stand up for it. We got to show that anybody that's being bullied, it has somebody out there, and we also need to show bullies that it's not okay to bully somebody to make them feel less than what they are.
You hit some very excellent points. Let me ask you a question. As a teen in 2025, would you agree or disagree that children who are bullies and that it goes untreated or not dealt with, do you agree or disagree they will grow up to be adult bullies?
I do agree with that because um a lot of times kids at a younger age learn stuff from somebody else, and then if they don't get that fix, it's just going to become a repeated behavior. It's like someone, how do I say this? Someone who has been let's say abused in life, not because of bullying, just family or whatever. They don't If they don't get that help at a younger age, it's going to become worse. And a lot of bullies I know have either been bullied or have witnessed bullying in family and think it's okay. So if we don't get somebody out of that stage at a young age, they're going to grow up thinking that that's okay. If a kid watches their mom or dad, it could be any any side of the family hitting on their spouse, then they're gonna grow up thinking that's okay because as a kid, our mind is set to learn from our parents. Like if we our parents cuss at a young age, we're gonna learn to cuss. We're gonna learn to think that's okay. Yelling because you're angry. Younger kids learn to think that's okay because they're in that environment. So if we don't help them learn at a younger age that that's not okay, they're gonna grow up the rest of their life thinking that's okay because that's what they grew up around.
That is so true. That is so true. I know within the Black community, that seems to be the norm with on how you handle, and it's covered by that's just discipline. And I think that especially when you are a single parent, and I'm not making any excuse because a parent is a parent is a parent. I think a lot of times parents get overwhelmed with their children and they feel like that's the way they need to communicate with their children. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying that it's appropriate. And I'm definitely not making any excuses for it. And I'm glad you touched on that point because that's a seed that's embedded in our children. Because if you look at your child's face when you yelling at them, cursing at them, or they see violence within the home, those are seeds that are being planted, and that's how they learn how to handle and deal with conflict. Would you say that's a great assessment from whether it be your own personal experience or something you experienced being around other people?
I would say it's from both. I've had friends that didn't come from a great home, and they'd always say, well, I act this way because, my parents do it, or I act this way because that's what I've heard from my parents. And my parents are great people. I am adopted. I've been adopted since 6 months old, and that's not really what they showed me, but it was more of I grew up thinking because my siblings didn't get very well. I witnessed my brother hurt my sister at a very young age, pushing her up against the house. I've witnessed my brothers yelling back and forth, cussing at each other, um, and I thought that was the way to handle situations. So as I started getting older, before I sought out help, I would yell at my parents. I would try to hurt my parents. I would try to hurt people at school. I would yell at people at school, thinking that that's how you're supposed to handle conflict or a disagreement. And over time, when I saw that help from therapists, teachers, my parents at one point, I realized that that's not how you can handle things because if you keep handling stuff like that, it could turn into domestic violence and then you could go to jail or you could actually end up killing somebody if it gets to a point. So I had to learn by asking for help to that's not the solution, but some kids don't realize that they can seek out for help. They just try to figure it out on their own or they just never seek out help and then it becomes a bigger problem that a lot of kids need to realize that there is help out there. There is people out there that can help them realize that that is not how you live life. So I feel like if we just show kids and show people that there are more resources, things can get a lot better and it could stop more bullying. Bullying will go downhill. Domestic violence hopefully will go downhill. So I feel like it could be from siblings, family, friends, anybody. It could come from anybody really.
Before we continue, I would like to greet the new people who came in. Welcome in the real life of Daphne. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Destiny's Love. Thank you, that girl Kendra. The topic of discussion we're discussing right now is teen bullying with my special guest, Kiana. And she's giving us some great insight on her perspective on bullying in 2025. So I want to say thank you, everybody, once again for joining us. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys being here. And shout out once again to Reverb Nation, the Cloud Watchers, the Replay Gang as well. Thank you so much. And I cannot forget tonight's sponsor, Millie Moon Diapers, for your Wiggler, your Waddlers, and your toddlers. Go get your Millie Moon diapers, and don't forget to use the promo code YOLEAKS where you will get 15% off your diapers. Thank you so much for everybody who joining us, and a special shout out to the man of the hour himself, Mr. TSM Rapper, who who came up with this, and I'm glad that he did because we have this beautiful young lady right here, Kiana, also known as Two Step Kiki. So you really gave us some great information on bullying. If I was a teen girl and I came to you and I was really scared and afraid, and I said, "Hey, you don't know me, but I've been being bullied not only at school, but at home, and I'm afraid, and I have absolutely no one to talk to." What advice would you give to a teen girl who came to you and said that? What advice would you give?
I would definitely let them know that I'm here to listen. Um, People that are being bullied don't always need to confide in an adult. You could confide in somebody that you feel like you could trust. Like I started confiding in friends, a friend before I started confiding in adults, because a lot of kids, when I was younger, I know myself, I didn't always think an adult was there to listen, because my mindset was adults are busy. They got work to deal with. They got to deal with other kids, because my family is big. My parents have 7 kids. So I always thought, you know what, I need to find somebody else. So if another kid, boy or girl, came to me and asked for help, I would definitely sit down, listen to them, give them as much advice as I can. And I would offer going with them to a trusted adult and getting them the help that they would like to seek. There, if there are some hotlines I know of, I can't exactly remember them right now, that you could call. And at my school, they do have a poster with numbers you could call if you need help. There's also this one resource I used to use. I can't exactly remember the number, but you could call them or you could text them, and they sit there and you can vent to them, listen, and they could give you advice. They could send you to somebody if they need to do that. So I would just let them know that there are people out there that are willing to sit there and listen. I could be the type to, if I think I need to, I'm the type to stand up and confront, because I'm not going to let somebody sit there and keep trying to confide in somebody and nothing happens. There are a couple times I have confronted a couple bullies for some people I considered as friends. And at first it got worse, but if you keep showing the bully that they don't have all that power, then they're going to stop. They're going to give up. If you let the bully know that they're getting to you, that they're hurting you, they're bothering you, they're gonna think that they have the one up on you, and they're gonna keep going. If you show them that that's not bothering, what they're saying and doing to you is not bothering you, they don't enjoy it anymore. So they're gonna find someone else. I don't think that's what their behavior should be. That okay, this person is not fulfilling my enjoyment anymore. Let's go to another person. I don't think that's what that should be, because that is very selfish of them, but that's essentially what they're going to do. You don't fulfill the enjoyment that they're seeking from you anymore, so they move on. So I feel like if kids learn to not show them that they're bothering you, they're going to leave you alone at one point.
I absolutely agree. And thank you so much for giving us so much wisdom and your take on what bullying is. Moving on to the next topic, we're going to talk about confidence. Confidence, what does that look like to you, Kiana, and what does that mean to you? How would you define confidence, and what does that look like to you?
I would define confidence as knowing that, like, walking with your head up high. That's what I usually say. Walking with your head up high, not looking down at your feet. Just letting people know that you know you are worthy, you know you are good. When I grew up, I didn't have that confidence. My self-esteem was very low. I always hated the way I looked, the way I dressed, um, the way I talked, the way I behaved. And starting in fourth grade, I started changing myself because I went to a predominantly white school, and their thing, all the kids there were like, if you're not pretty, if you're not athletic, and if you're not, skinny, slim, whatever, however you want to say it, then you don't fit in. And I wasn't none of those things at the time. I didn't really do sports. I wasn't the prettiest. I wasn't in any of that. So from fourth to sixth grade, I changed the way I talked. I changed the way I dressed. I changed my hair. I started getting my hair done. I started wearing more makeup and stuff like that. And trying to change myself messed with my mental health. And in sixth grade was the first time I've ever tried to kill, like, well, I'm going to say end my life because of the reason that I thought it was so important to change myself and it drained me. So having confidence is very important. You people need to know, teens need to know you do not have to change yourself to fit in, because the true people that need to be in your life will like you for you, will not like you because you're like everybody else. They will like who you are, who you act like, what you look like. Like they're going to like you for you. So confidence is very important to keep going in life. And over time, my confidence grew because I realized like there are people out there that like me for me. And then I always tell myself every day, I go into the bathroom, I look myself in the mirror, and I tell myself, I am beautiful, I can do it, I am great, and I am important. And I walk out the door with my head up. I don't walk out the door looking down. I keep my head up high, have my shoulders nice and straight, and I walk out like I'm a boss lady, because that makes me realize that I'm good. I am worth it. I'm worthy of how God made me. God made me how He made me for a reason. And if other people don't like it, well, I'm sorry to tell them I'm going to be me.
You know what? For you to be 17, you are so wise beyond your years, because I know um young ladies who are not half as wise as you are. And the one thing, like me and my real close girlfriends, we sit around, we talk about womanhood. And I think when I listen to you speak, you had to have not only an awesome mother, but you've had some great women role models around you. Based on the way that you speak and how wise you are, and you're very wise beyond your years. And for the mere fact, I feel so honored to be up here having this conversation with you, because you speak with so much integrity and eloquence that you don't get that nowadays. You really, really don't. And I like what you said about confidence, because you never talked about trying to fit in, or you never talked about how you had to be, I'm gonna get along, I'm gonna go along to get along type of girl. Like, you really set the standard. And I think so many young ladies don't do that. They're more concerned about the chase. I gotta chase a man, I gotta have a boyfriend, I gotta dress scantily, I gotta show off my body, I gotta be a size 2, I gotta be all these different stereotypes. But then, like you said, you almost harmed yourself because you were trying to fit the mold of what other people wanted you to be, and you discovered your true identity. And that's the one thing I love about what you said. You discovered your true self. You don't have to fit the mold of someone else. You don't have to. And you talked about how you were getting bullied because you turned down this young man. And I think you on a great path to womanhood. And I can honestly say I am so proud of you,
Thank
because
you.
nowadays you don't see that. You don't see that within teens. You don't see that in young adults. And unfortunately, you don't see that in older adults, and particularly young ladies. You don't see it. It's very, very rare. And because you don't see that, sometimes we don't get hurt, we overlook, we're lost because it's more popular to be, you know, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's more popular to chase after a man, to chase after a boy, to be like, look at me. It's more popular to be a pick me. It's more popular to be fighting for somebody's attention instead of saying, hey, I'm smart. I have a brain. I have much more to offer than my body. And for the mere fact that you brought that, I think that's going to have so much power because I think a lot of young ladies need to hear that. They need to hear that because a lot of them, unfortunately, are not hearing that at home. They don't have a lot of solid women around them in their lives and may never have them in their lifetime. I know for myself, I had solid women around me. Look who my best friends are. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
you know how the saying goes, birds of a feather flock together. Do you agree or do you disagree with that?
Um, I definitely. Okay, can you ask me one more time?
Do you agree with the statement, birds of a feather flock together, meaning that you are who you hang around?
For me, that is a agree and disagree because it really depends if the people that you're hanging around are good for you. If you are hanging around with somebody that wants you to be like them, that is you need to remove yourself and you need to find somebody that will like you for you. But if you are hanging out with people that love that you're yourself and are not forcing you to do this or forcing you to be like this, then that is definitely your birds of a feather. That is who you should be with. Me, when I was growing up, I hung out with a lot of people, and I just wanted friends, so I stuck with them. But I knew whole time that they didn't like me for me. I knew secretly on the side they were talking about me. There's a lot of people that be like, Kiki, like, do you love me? Sing that song, like, just trying to make me feel like I'm good. But in my head, I already knew they're just doing that, but secretly they're bullying me. Cause back to like this kind of goes with the bullying thing. Bullies may not bully you by calling you names and stuff. They can bully you by pretending to be your friend and making you feel like you are good, but whole time on the side they're talking about you. Letting people know, well, you could do this, you could do that. So for me, finding that group of people that like to be for me, like that I'm goofy, I'm weird, I dress how I want to dress. I don't always have my hair done. Like right now my hair is not done. I'm getting it done Saturday. Yay. But I don't always have my hair done. So and people like me for me. And then again with I low key forgot what I was going to say. But yeah, so people that like me for me is what I would rather hang out with than people that pretend they like me, but on the side they're talking about me. And this is another thing. My sister, well, one of my sisters, she's autistic and she thinks everybody likes her. She thinks she's the most nicest, happiest girl I've ever met in my life. Like she is so sweet. But there's people when I was back at my hometown with her, there's people that would pretend to be so nice to her and would be like, "Oh my gosh, Lexi, this and that." But then on the side, I knew that they're bullying her, and she would sit there and give them stuff, would make them gifts and stuff, share her food at lunch and stuff. And it just one day it made me cry because she doesn't realize that they're bullying her. They take advantage of people. They like bullies could take advantage of people. So that made me cry one day. And one day I had enough and I said, you're not going to treat my sister like that. If you want to bully somebody, bully me. You're not going to bully somebody that doesn't understand what you're doing to them. And ever since that day, I just had to take it. I'm not at that school anymore. My sister's still there. So I still worry about her at times. But as long as she still has that smile on her face, I'm happy for her. But Yeah, like you said, the birds of the feather, you just gotta make sure your birds to your feather is actually like you for you, not or just liking you because they can have that one up or something. That's how I feel.
I agree. I mean, we can always spot out fake support, fake love, fake friendships. That's something that that's something that will reveal itself over time, if not immediately. And I just want to say a special shout out to everyone in the chat who's been showing us some love up here. Shout out to you guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for the special love that you were showing me. Thank you so much for the love that you're showing Kiana as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for being here once again. And shout out to Reverb Nation, the Cloud Watchers, the replay game. Thank you so much. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys being here. It means a lot. And thank you for joining the Team Summit with our special guest, Kiana. And for our last topic of discussion, we're going to be talking about independence. And, for the people who don't know and understand what teen independence is, Kiana, can you tell us what your definition is of teen independence?
So for me, teen independence is when a teenager can get not really get by on their own. You don't have to be living on your own, be emancipated to be independent, but somebody that could get the things they need for themselves, like food, clothes, being able to go out there and look for a job, getting their own car, that kind of stuff. For me, I'm independent in multiple ways. I took the time. It took me a year to get my first job, but I have a job now. I work at Famous Footwear. I sell shoes. Um, and that took a year of me applying, taking the time to go to interviews, making sure I had the interview outfits I needed to go to these interviews. Um, at 16 and a half, I got my first apartment. And that's where I am right now. I have my own little apartment. We still have adults that will take us grocery shopping and stuff, but it's my job to meal plan. My job to make sure stuff isn't spoiled, meats are stored properly. It's my job to make sure I get myself up for school and get to school, get home from school. Um, I don't have a mom anymore to be telling me, Kiana, homework, Kiana, laundry. I have to do laundry on my own. I have to clean this whole place on my own. I still talk to my mom and dad, but my family is 3 hours and 30 minutes away from me, so I very rarely see them unless it's like for my birthday or for holidays. But me being independent sometimes is a struggle, and that's where I like that I could call my mom, or I still have a staff here I can ask. Um, I also independence as a teenager, if you don't live on your own, is, getting yourself up. We are teenagers. We shouldn't be needing our moms to tell us, you got to get out of bed, you're going to be late to school. Right there is just being independent, getting yourself up. We shouldn't need our parents to be like, you need to go do your laundry. That should be our job to do our own laundry. We need to be independent because I don't think a teen wants to go to school stinky. Our parents shouldn't have to be like, you need to get a job, because I know when if you go to college, whether or not you do or don't, you're going to want a job. So that is up to us to be independent and go look for a job. So there are multiple ways a teenager can be independent, whether living by themselves or living with family. But if you're living by yourself, I'm gonna tell you, independence is very hard. You're gonna have days where you feel like it's just done and over with. But you find that right help, you could do it. That's what I had to do. I had to find that right people to ask for help, and I'm doing pretty good. Been in this apartment since August. Doing good in school, passing my classes. I'm gonna graduate early. I got a job now, looking for a car. So I'm doing pretty good for being 17, my first time really doing everything by myself.
That is an awesome blessing because a lot of young girls, they They have babies young, your age, younger, really under the age of 21. And you out here doing it. And I'm so proud of you because you are the perfect representation of what a teenager should be out here doing. I mean, you're working at your place, you're more independent, you're more self reliant, you're loving, you have a still great relationship with your family, you are awesome big sister, a great friend. And I think you are the total package because I think a lot of young ladies in particular need to know and understand that they need to have a Kiana in their life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And before we continue on, I don't want to forget the other young lady that was supposed to join us up top is my bestie, Bree Bree. There was some connection issues that she wasn't able to come up top with us. But I want to say shout out to you, Bree Bree. We did not forget about you, beautiful. Thank you so much for coming over here. Thank you so much for coming to the meeting as well. I want you to know how much I love you. I think you are the absolute best. I love you so much, Bree Bree. I don't want you to ever forget that. And I just want to say I am truly honored because, like I said, I encounter. I have a 17-year-old son. He's 17, and he's dope to me. I'm not. He's just dope to me, and I mean, he is the epitome of what a man is. I look forward to him growing as a young man. He has a girlfriend of almost 2 years. And when I tell you the way he treats her, the way he speaks to her, the way he makes her feel like she's the most special person in the world, I just look at them and just be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Because I
Yeah.
know how I was when I was 17. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have
Mhm.
that. I didn't have that. And just to know that there are still teenagers out there who are more focused on, like you said, getting a job, hang around good people, being good people, being great role models, having a job, saving up money to get their own car. That really, really still exists out here because it's so drowned it out because you hear so many negative things about teenagers nowadays. How do you feel about that?
Um, it actually really bothers me because I've had um my teacher at my old school. He said, I'm scared for you guys, you teenagers, to get cars because you guys are the reason why our car insurance goes up. Or I've had someone say, um, see, when y'all get your own places, this is why our house insurance or stuff is gonna go up. And it's like, how are you guys gonna blame us? Because right now we're in inflation. Because like you can't blame just the teenagers. We are still teenagers, so I'm not gonna say teenagers aren't gonna do dumb things. We are that is what we do, but it's how we learn from it. I also don't like how a lot of people tell me that teenagers aren't gonna be nothing. This generation isn't gonna be nothing. I've had a few teachers say, the way my class is going, we're not going to get nowhere, we're not going to graduate, we're not going to be successful, we're not, and it sucks because there are teenagers that really do try and be something. Because me, I've tried my hardest to be something. I've skipped a grade and a half because when I was in detention, I took the time and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do better. I'm not gonna focus on what I did in my past. I'm gonna do better. And I sat there and I did homework after homework. Even when we wasn't in school, I was doing homework, and that's why I skipped a grade and a half. At this time, I'm still doing homework. I do homework every chance I get. It's very rare that I have homework because I'm not in class like some students goofing around. I'm paying attention. I do my tests. And after I do finish high school, I'm taking a year or two at our Des Moines community college for interior design, and then after that I want to go to Iowa State College for my last 2 years of interior design because I would like to be an interior designer. um I chose that career. Like a lot of kids, like a lot of teens, they don't think about their career. They graduate and it's like, okay, now I got to figure out what career I have. I knew I wanted this career since I was 12 years old because when I was going through stuff, the way I coped with sketch interior designers, design houses, I would hand draw it, sketch it, color it, measure it, all of that stuff. So my mindset was I want a job that I'm gonna enjoy, but also makes good money. A lot of teens and some adults too. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've seen this in some adults. Their mindset is, I need a job that pays a lot of money. They don't think about, do I want to work at a job where I'm gonna be miserable and not even want to go into work, but I get good money, or do I want to work somewhere that still pays me? Because money's money, but I enjoy it. My mindset was, I want to work somewhere that I can enjoy working at, but also pays a decent amount of money. And so that's why I chose interior design because I enjoy it. It pays good money. Um, a lot of teens that get told by adults and adults shut them down, it makes teens not want to like keep pushing. It makes them feel like they can't do it. Um, just the other day, I heard a teacher say to this boy in my class, "But what if you keep this up? You're gonna be a failure." And that just kind of hurt me. And I stood up because I'm the type of person, if I see something wrong, I'm gonna stand up. I don't know. And so I stood up to the teacher. I said, by you saying that, it makes him feel like he can't do it. Instead of you saying that, how about you tell him, do you need help? I can help you. You want to, we could do a tutor session, something like that, instead of shutting him down and making him feel like he's not going to be successful. Because as teens, our mindset is usually already negative. So by somebody telling us more negative stuff, it's it's not helping. It's just gonna make us feel like, okay, so my mindset, the thing way I'm thinking, I am right. I am not gonna make it. I am not doing good. So by having encouragement and changing that mindset will, make us realize like, okay, I can do it. If an adult is telling me I can do it, then I can do it. Because a lot of teens and kids really take what adults say to heart. We usually, what adult says is how it goes. What an adult tells us is what it is. So by an adult telling us something negative, we think it's going to be negative. If an adult encourages us, we could believe that, we could do it. So by adults, anybody really just shutting us down and saying this generation or just kids and teens in general are not doing good or we're not going to make it, you're putting that mindset into our head that we're not going to make it, we're not doing good, and then we're not going to want to try. That's how I view that.
I just want to say thank you once again to our special guest, Kiana, as well as Bree Bree. I'm not sure if she's still here or not, but I want to say thank you to both of these beautiful ladies. It's been an honor to not get to know you, but to have a conversation with you, beautiful ladies, because I've learned a lot from you guys as well. It means a lot to me when I hear young ladies in particular talk in a certain tone and carry themselves in a certain way. And I'm so very, very proud of you guys. And I want to say thank you, Kiana. Thank you so much for gracing this platform and giving your insight about bullying, confidence, and independence as well. You did a phenomenal job. I know your parents are extremely proud of you. I am so proud of you that it's just
Thank
like,
you.
girl, you want a gift? You want me to send you something for Christmas? Girl, what you need? You know what I'm saying? Like I got a plethora of over here that I'm just trying to get rid of. But and it's just like you are so awesome. I swear you are. You are, and I'm gonna tell you, and TSM will tell you too. When he did his video, when he did the movie, I'm sorry, about becoming a star, and he said I was a hurricane in heels. He wasn't lying. I'm not easily impressed. I really am not. Um, but you have impressed me because, like I said, you have so much wisdom beyond your years, and you speak so eloquently. You speak with so much class and decorum. I am so honored. I'm so honored because I have a teenage son. I have well, she'll be 10 next month. And man, she's a fireball. So I might send her your way for for you to be for, because she at this stage. But I just want to say thank you once again. It has been a total honor and a blessing. And shout out once again to my bestie, Bree Bree. I know you couldn't be up top with us. Thank you so much as well. That's my girl. I love you, Bree Bree. And Kiana, you're gonna have to keep in contact with me. I'm gonna have to, hit my email so I can give you my number, girl. Because we need
Okay, sure will.
to. Thank you so much once again, guys, for joining us. We really appreciate that as well. TSM has joined us. So, is there anything you would like to add?
Um, I'm just proud of y'all. Y'all actually did a great job. Y'all did excellent. I was just like so fascinated watching. I could barely keep up down below. And yeah, and so it's about that time. Y'all done ran it up, and I really, really appreciate y'all. Fanny, if you want to shout out the sponsor one more again, and also present Kiki with an opportunity at saying something positive before we all leave from up here.
Of course, shout out once again to tonight's sponsors, Millie Moon Diapers, our luxury diaper brand. Thank you once again for sponsoring this live for our wiggles, our waddlers, and our toddlers. And for all you first time parents and your repeat parents, go out here and get you some Millie Moon diapers and use the promo code YOLEAKS where you will get 15% off on your purchase. And with that being said, Kiki, can you close us out with some words of inspiration?
Yes. For don't let anybody you know or anybody around you, whether you know them or not, get bullied. Remember, keep your head up when you walk out the door. If you got to tell yourself an affirmation in the mirror, do that. And you could be independent, whether you got yourself your own apartment or if you're living with your family. Just remember, everybody's beautiful. Everybody got this.
Fanny, did you make that up? The Wigglers, the Waddlers, and the Tyler. You made that line up right there?
Yes, I've always said
Girl, you
that.
need to start writing some rhymes. What's wrong with you? You just sitting wasting, got wasting talent like that. What's wrong with you? She done snapped up here. I'm thinking she about to bust out rapping, talking about the Wigglers, the Wallers, and Tyler. I'm using that. I'm straight up stealing that, and I'm gonna
But I
trademark it.
say that all the time with Millie Moon
But
Diet.
that's what I'm saying. Now it's stuck to me, and it's like a theme now. Like
That's
I gotta holler at Millie. I gotta holler at them about that. Like they might want to try to use that, but we gotta hurry up and brand that right
I
there. Like
always use that because
was that like a natural? Like, did you make that up then and there, or like, did you
I
always
made
call like
it up because I got a 13-month over here, so I made that up. So
that?
I got a baby over here. What you mean? So you know what I'm saying? I made that. So what you mean?
Yo, oh my God, yo, yeah, you gonna have to hurry up and pull up, cause you gotta come do something with these boys over here. You gotta come pull up and tap in and come up with a name for them, cause they something like Bebe's kids, but they
Uh,
worse. I don't know what the hell.
don't do them like that. Don't you dare. Don't do that. Don't.
Listen,
No. 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 Don't
we've
do
been over
that.
this several times.
No. Don't do
Yo,
that.
I appreciate everybody that came. I really do. Fanny, could you close us out in prayer real quick? As we got like people that's sick, people that's sore, people that's not feeling well right now. As we are happy, and so we don't know that it's people that's actually out there feeling 10 times worse than us. So for those people who can't feel the joy of being happy like we are right now, could you say a quick prayer and we get up out of here?
I just want to say to piggyback off of what Kiana said. Don't allow this world or the opinions and thoughts of others to diminish your shine. because you have a natural glow. It's called you. There's only one of you. There will be another. There will never be a duplicate. You are irreplaceable. You are loved. You are powerful. And like I've always said, and I'm going to have to bring this back. Remember, always remember, your power and your strength always lies within. Thank you once again for everybody who joined us tonight. I really appreciate you. And for everybody who wants to get in contact with Kiana, please subscribe to her channel as well as Bree Bree. Thank you so much again, TSM, for this opportunity. I thank you so much that you allowed me to be on top with these beautiful young ladies.
Absolutely, y'all. We up out of here. Y'all make sure. No, Fanny, I need you to say a prayer real quick for the people that's sick right now. People that's really sick. And like I
I
said,
can't
it's
hear you
people that's in
or
jail.
what?
It's people that's in jail. It's people that's in sick, and people need prayer. So I need you to say a prayer for the sick people before we get up out of here.
Okay. I just want to say, Father God, I want to say thank you. Thank you for always being present. Thank you for knowing our every need. Thank you for Jehovah Rapha, our healer, our strength, our guidance. Thank you, Father God, for just knowing what we need when we need it and how we need it, Father God. Thank you for having your hand upon every situation. Thank you for healing our bodies, our minds. Thank you, Father God, whatever attack the enemy has thrown at us, Father God, that it will not prosper. Thank you so much for your healing hands upon us once again. And we all thank you. And this is in Jesus' mighty name. We give you all the thanks and all the praise. Amen. Thank you so much, Kendra. Thank you. I love you too, boo. Thank you so much.
I was just reading that I was just reading that comment because now I'm funny. I talked to the pen pals, the dudes that's in jail and stuff like that, and one of them had just hit me before the live was over with because they sick in there and they can't get medicine that they need, and so he was just like, make sure that you say a quick prayer. Don't forget about us that's locked up in here, and so I wanted to make sure I got that prayer out there. And so we got people in jail that's listening to us live. So shout out to the people that's in jail listening.
Shout out.